welcome to the Facility Resilience Podcast. We cover all things facility design, operation, and maintenance, in addition to business continuity and resilience strategies. I'm Mike Giannakis, the editorial director for Facility Executive, and I'm really excited to have with me here today Katrin Fergie from Essity. She is the regional manager of the commercial segment for the professional hygiene brand Torque. And today we're going to dig into some of the hype around the latest hygiene tech trend, which is self-cleaning restrooms. You've probably seen them popping up all across the United States. So we want to hear more about facilities that are using data-driven cleaning to drive efficiency for their teams. And lastly, we're going to talk about what it takes to retain cleaning staff, which is very important to drive operational success. So very happy to have you here, Katrin Fergie.
Really happy to be here too. So thanks for having me.
Okay, so as I mentioned in the opening, the self-cleaning restrooms, it's sort of a wow trend. But from your POV, can automation alone deliver the hygiene experience that guests and facilities truly need?
Well, they are really a wow moment if you think about how many cities are investing in it right now as a public restrooms. And the idea of a self-cleaning unit is a great step forward. But if you take an honest look at it, automation alone is usually not enough. Real time or real life hygiene is not that predictable. You still have things running out, like the toilet paper is running out, hand towels are running out, people using these spaces maybe in unpredictable or unexpected ways, or they're just half-baked, or they're just really messy, or you have that high traffic moment that a machine just cannot really fully handle. So if you're thinking about places like airports or stadiums where you have thousands of people going into the restrooms in a short window of time window, these self-cleaning setups wouldn't be feasible in that area, in that space. That's where really you think about the combination of technology and people together. So if you think about data-driven cleaning, it's really like a wonderful technology to manage routines and drive efficiency, because especially in those high traffic environments, you really know then what your team needs to focus on and where they actually matter most in that particular moment. So if you're thinking about cleaning professionals and everything is kind of unpredictable, that's where that comes in. And facilities that choose both people and technology and blend it together, they can really show consistency and efficiency, and then bring not only the cleaning at the right time, but really highlight and like deliver the right guest experience in the end.
Right. The all-important guest experience. But so sort of speaking of the smart tech movement, along with the expertise of cleaning professionals, let's talk a little bit about data-driven cleaning.
Mhm.
So what benefits do you think that that unlocks for the cleaning teams and facilities as a whole?
Um, that's actually where it gets really exciting, because data-driven cleaning completely changes how the teams operate. Traditionally, you had the cleaning routines. It's pretty reactive. You follow a schedule, you check everything, whether it's needed or not. And if we're looking at some of the research we've done, we actually seen 8 out of 10 dispenser checks are not necessary because there are still refills in there, and it's just that we have to go through everything, and then you waste a lot of time. So with the data and with exactly where teams are needed in real time, so you take the guesswork out. So basically, you know exactly what dispenser needs a refilling, where which restroom might have been used a lot and needs some attention, and that really makes it so powerful, especially in those busy environments where you have consistently traffic, or the patterns of traffic is changing. So you are more focused, more efficient. You have less wasted time. And we see really results with some of the companies that we work with data-driven cleaning, that 99% of the time their dispensers are fully stocked, so they don't have runouts. And 97% actually said that they improve the overall hygiene. So the biggest takeaway from that really is that you can really replace the cleaning professionals, but if you give them the right tools and insights, they can work way smarter and have a better impact on that facility.
That makes sense. Yeah. There's nothing worse than not having the refills when you want to wash your hands. It's very frustrating.
Exactly.
So, okay, yeah, speaking of the data-driven cleaning, does an example come to mind of a specific facility that Torque worked with that saw value from data-driven cleaning?
Well, yeah, one of the examples is actually here in my hometown. I'm in Philadelphia. So, if you look at the Xfinity Mobile Center, which is the home of the Flyers, so they are a very high traffic venue with tons of different events, whether it's the Flyers playing or there's a concert. So, what they've basically told us that before they started using the data-driven cleaning, they were operating on assumptions. So, the assumption was everything needs to be refilled. So let's take all the products in every time before an event, and then they noticed, well, we had way too much in our storage closet than what we actually needed. So a lot of things were just kind of like put in a corner, forgotten about, and that was it. So now, when they started introducing data and the real time visibility, everything changed because now they could really see usage patterns, what needed attention when, and how often. So instead of checking every single restroom every time there was an event, they could look at the data and say, like, okay, this one needs checking. There's a refill that is needed, and they become more efficient. They reduced a lot of the waste they had seen before, and ultimately made the whole operation a lot smarter, and gave their teams a lot more clarity on where they are needed.
That makes a huge difference, I'm sure. So speaking of technology, it works hand in hand with the cleaning professionals. So let's talk a little bit more about the cleaning staff itself, because we heard about the tech aspect of it and data-driven cleaning. But as you mentioned, it's going to come down to people, the cleaning staff. How can facility managers approach cleaning staff retention better to ensure optimal experiences for their guests?
This is actually a really important topic, and I think it's getting overlooked a lot of times because cleaning staff is so essential. And retention, as you just mentioned, it's a challenge. We've done some research and looked at like different stats. Like if you think about it, 80% of cleaning personnel has some kind of mental health issues that they're reporting because of their jobs, because they are so tough. So what I see that facilities that are doing this really, really well are doing are three things. One is giving the staff the right tools, which, for example, is the right dispensing systems, data-driven cleaning, like the technology behind it. So you reduce physical strain and also make their work more efficient so they can actually do the things that they need to do in the short period of time that they only have. Second is training. When people feel like they're building skills and they're trusted as a decision maker, not just doing tasks, that's when they actually show up in a different way, right? And then the third that really is connected to that training part is culture. Recognition matters no matter what your job is. When cleaning teams actually feel seen and as an essential contributor and not just invisible labor, the engagement goes up. So when you do those three things right, people will stay longer, they will perform better, and you obviously improve your guest experience directly with that.
Wow, that's a huge number. 80% reported.
80%.
Wow, that's incredible. So
Yeah,
yeah, that would make a huge difference in what you get out because you can't do this job without the people. So
exactly, exactly.
all right, well, to sort of wrap this conversation up a little bit, what's one thing that facility managers should understand about remaining competitive in 2026 and beyond? Like what separates leading facilities from the rest of the field?
I think the biggest shift is really that hygiene is not just a maintenance issue anymore. It really has business impact. It's about business performance. Um, there's a lot of tighter budgets. There are staffing challenges, what we just discussed with retention, and you get new staff coming in. And then you also have really high expectations from your guests. They want to feel, that there's everything is clean. They want to feel comfortable in the restrooms that they're using. If they're not feeling comfortable, they will maybe drink less. They might, buy less food because they don't want to go in there. So there's a lot of things that go in that. So basically, the old routines that we discussed earlier, relying on that guesswork, it doesn't work anymore. You have to like go take that next step into the future, whether it's, data driven cleaning and like really using the data to understand what's happening in real time. So you know exactly what is needed when and make those smarter decisions. And then also think about what dispenser systems are the right ones to use? Do I need something with a higher capacity? What are some of the tools that I need to give my team, like a training session or something, to really make them understand what matters most, and then prioritize the work and the routines or resources accordingly. So when you combine all of that with the strong people and the right processes, that's when you really get that competitive advantage. And you're not only thinking about keeping a space clean, but about running it smarter and more responsive overall in your operations.
Right. Yeah, it seems like it's sort of about embracing the technology that's available while not forgetting
Right.
about the human element that
Yes.
actually does the cleaning.
Yeah, because your data is not good. Your data tells you what needs to be done, but you still need that person to do it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Catherine Fergie. I really appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with us. And before we go, is there a website you'd like people to visit?
We do have our Torque website. So that's a good spot where you can find a lot of information around different environments that you might be working in. So we have subpages, whether you're in an office buildings or an airport or like a restaurant area. So you can find a lot of information there around efficiency on like cleaning operations, and then obviously also the right tools and products to use for those spaces.
Incidentally, I spent 12 hours at JFK's bathroom a couple of weeks ago. Not in their bathroom, 12 hours at JFK, but I visited the bathroom quite a bit, and I was very glad that they did a pretty good job of keeping those clean. So, thank you so much, Captain Fergie. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate the time. This has been the Facility Resilience Podcast. I'm Mike Janakis. Join us next time.